I'm going to be very candid about addressing this comment because this is a form of spiritual manipulation, specifically spiritual gaslighting. Spiritual gaslighting is dismissing valid concerns or actions and framing them as someone who has a lack of faith. You're sick because you have a lack of faith. You didn't pray hard enough for your rent money, things like that. Many of us have experienced this in religion, specifically Christianity, but it also shows up in all forms of spirituality. This type of spirituality focuses on a form of toxic positivity, as if you should fear manifesting something negative in your life. This is why this comment angers me so much, because I am not causing climate change. I contribute to it as a human being, but I did not manifest it. I did not manifest the fascism that's arriving in America. I have repeatedly said that my spirituality is tied intricately to my humanity, how I show up in the world. My spiritual practices are personal to me. They help ground me and prepare me for the work that I do here. But to say that somehow I am manifesting something when all I'm doing is looking at the data, it's the same type of data that has me put on my seatbelt when I get in my car. For safety reasons, the data shows us that you are less likely to be injured by wearing your seatbelt. I am not manifesting a car accident. When my youngest son hit 16, I started to pay attention to his sleep patterns and if he was waking up with any injuries in his mouth. Why? Because his biological family had instances of adult onset epilepsy, particularly with men. I did not manifest his epilepsy. I looked at the data and the doctor recommendations so that when something happened, I was prepared. I use my turn signals when I come to a corner that I'm going to turn in my car, not because I'm manifesting someone to rear end me, because the data clearly shows that working turn signals that people choose to use reduces the number of accidents that happen on the road. This is another form of toxic theology where you're trying to hold me accountable for something that is out of my personal control, but something that I can clearly do something about. Through my being informed and listening to people that I trust related to global climate change and what happens to people under a fascist rule. We can also take the advice of the economic experts who say that people are going to be hurting financially over the next couple of years. So how can we help people prepare? I am not manifesting anything. I am looking at the data and I am responding to it. It would be very irresponsible for me as a spiritual leader to sit in my house and hum and chant all day and not help people prepare for some of what may happen. If none of it happens, we're no worse off. But if it does, people are more empowered and engaged with creating change if they are not hungry, if they are not cold, if they trust those of us who are providing them information and resources that they can use to help protect their family inside what we think is going to be a national crisis. I believe that our spiritual practices should empower us to act responsibly, not shame us into inaction under the guise of manifestation. Awareness and preparation are not rooted in fear. They are rooted in love and care and responsibility for ourselves and others. By shifting the blame to those of us who are preparing and educating people, you are excusing the systems and the leaders who are actually a part of creating the crisis that we are getting ready to face. True spiritual growth is about combining your faith with action, not from silencing valid concerns with toxic platitudes. So yes, I meditate. Yes, I chant. Yes, I do visualization exercises and I journal, but I am always going to push back on toxic positivity and spiritual manipulation, regardless of the source. Spiritual gaslighting, whether it's from inside the church or out here in New Age spirituality, is toxic, and you are being irresponsible with your beliefs by equating preparation and education that have real world consequences with some kind of toxic manifestation. So for all of you who made this type of comment on that video, this is my line in the sand. If your spirituality is singular and you want to stay home and do those manifestation exercises, good on you. Leave me alone to prepare people and educate people, because that's my spirituality and it's data informed. I'm spiritual, but I'm also a realist. Hope this helps.